Welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details.
Alright, another awesome day here, Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of CyberCEO, and of course, we have a very special guest on the show right now. Kevin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Jello.
All right, perfect. First off, I'd like to thank you for your time. We really appreciate you being on the show today. So, just to start off, for the benefit of everyone who's listening and watching, can you tell us something about yourself? What's your role in the business, Kevin?
I am the team leader of the Keller-Williams Denver Tech Center real estate office in Denver, Colorado. We're the largest Keller-Williams office in the state of Colorado.
Wow. So that must mean that you really have, let's say, a lot of things to do in every day. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty busy answering questions, coaching, mentoring our top 20%. In addition to that, my biggest responsibility is growing our market center. So our owners are happy with the activities and the money that they've invested in the market center.
Of course, again, and in, of course, helping out the market center grow, you do have your cyberbacker helping you out, correct?
I do.
Yes.
My cyberbacker, his name is Renard. We've been working together for just about 6 months.
6 months now. So was this your first time working with someone remotely, or did you have experience before Cyberbacker?
For a small period of time earlier this year, we tried another company, but the response, the amount of appointments, those types of things were greatly smaller in regards to the return on the investment.
All right, so let me ask you then, how's the experience so far working with Renard, your cyberbacker?
It's been fantastic. I mean, I look at and I call him Ren. He goes by Ren. He's really part of our team. He's involved in what's going on in the office. We keep him up to speed on things in regards to the communication. He sits in on a lot of our meetings so that he understands what's going on here at a local level.
All right, so basically you do already have, let's say, a few months, of course, in this relationship. Let me ask you, what makes this type of a virtual relationship work? What makes it a successful partnership?
I think you have to have somebody that's coachable, somebody that's willing to not only implement your plan, but also have the guts to be able to kind of put his touch on it, or say, hey, I would like to maybe try this. I think this might work a little bit better. So it's a collaboration, to make this be successful.
Of course, again, a two-way street type of a relationship,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yes. Now, how much time has Ren saved you ever since he started working with you and your team?
Where he's been valuable is having conversations and reaching out to those R2 appointments that, sometimes I'll just be honest. I mean, it's hard as a team leader. You're getting inundated with questions and, you're solving issues here at a local level. The fact that he's been able to take that off my plate to set up a lot of these appointments for me has been life-saving, in regards to utilizing him and him doing this at a high level.
Now, what are these things that he does for you and your team? Because you already mentioned a few, but what are these things? Maybe let's say the top 5 tasks that he does.
Well, the first thing is, we are looking to grow the market center. So he's typically reaching out to somebody that has 8 or more transactions under their belt over the last 12 months. He's helping obviously build those relationships. And I'll be real honest, some of the conversations that I've had with people have been with people that I honestly probably wouldn't have not called myself, because I know them, or I figured there's no way they're going to take my phone call, or they're not going to sit down and have a conversation with me. So, and that has been one of the most surprising things. The nice thing is about working with Ren is he doesn't know who I know. He just makes the contact and reaches out and sets up that appointment for us to sit down and have a conversation about opportunities within Keller-Williams.
So mainly burning the phones then. Now, I know that his role could still grow, of course, within your team because it's only been 6 months. What are some of these new things or new tasks that you're considering having him do in the future?
Well, there's a lot of things that he does for us as far as like administration in regards to setting up my my smart plans.
Mm-hmm.
We have about 2,500 people that we're consistently always dripping on in some capacity on different type of smart plans,
Mm-hmm.
notating things that are going on in regards to those conversations, inviting people to classes, of high level. The mastery classes that we have within my market center. I'm doing about 50 to 60 classes on a monthly basis in my market center. And those are opportunities to invite agents from other brokerages to come in and see what we're all about. So, and he's instrumental in doing that. Right now with the new K-Score school, I went back and I looked at my pipeline of people that I had spoken to, over the last 24 months that either for whatever reason didn't move forward, or we didn't have an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with them. And we are in conversations with those people and adding them to the K-Score school as we move forward to, again, enhance our opportunity to grow the market center.
And there's more things for him to do. That means just growth for him and growth for in your business then.
Yeah.
Now, what have been some of the challenges that you've had working with your cyberbacker?
I think initially the challenges is just kind of getting the footing down, getting him to know what's going on here at a local level. I think sometimes there might be a cyberbacker that is, a colleague, and something that works for them may not work for us here at a local level because our market is different than maybe somebody else that he has had a conversation with or been coached with. So it's an integral part of him to be consistent is to have good communication with me. So I can tell you, even sometimes one of the things that we have done to enhance our opportunities is Ren comes in and he does an introduction for us between the R2 and myself before I start having that conversation. They started the conversation with Ren. And that has enhanced our opportunities to have more appointments. Our show up rate has increased quite a bit once we implemented that into our conversations.
Of course, that's a good way, of course. I think what you mentioned earlier, the last part was having him introduce you to the specific agent. I think that since they did really have that conversation first, I think that's a good way, of course. That's a good tip for all of our listeners as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like handing that baton off
Yes.
to the next person. And I can tell you, my conversations with Ren initially we started with, we kind of got his feet wet with just R1s, people that were less than cappers. And we got a lot of appointments set up, but we weren't making a lot of headway. But we had to start somewhere. I needed to find out what his conversation was going to look like, how they were going to respond. And occasionally, the fact that we have those appointments set up where Ren comes on to the call to do the introduction to me,
Mm-hmm.
if for some reason they don't show up on that appointment, then that gives Ren and I an opportunity to actually have a conversation in the middle of the day to make an adjustment or to, make sure that, we're on the same page. And I can tell you, if anybody's going to utilize your services, you cannot ignore your cyberbacker. They have to be an integral part of your team, and that communication's got to work both ways. If you're going to hire somebody from your company and you're not going to keep them in the loop or have the same type of conversation you would have with somebody that's at a local level, you're doing yourself a disservice as well as your cyberbacker, and you're not going to be successful. I can tell you that.
That's already great advice right there, Kevin. I like what you mentioned there. They'll make them feel like they are part of something. Of course, they want to know what their wins are as well, so that they would be motivated as well to give their 101%, right?
Well, when you guys asked me to be part of this podcast, the first thing I did is I reached out to Ren. I said, "Hey, Ren, I have got an opportunity to be our voice." And I said ours because he represents me, and in today's conversation, in a roundabout way, I'm representing Ren. While he's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for us, it's him on the front lines. He's the one having the conversations. And I've got to get him better. And in turn, I always got to get better because Ren is working really hard. I've got to do everything I possibly can to make sure that his efforts are rewarded by me being successful in the conversations I'm having with those potential agents coming to KW.
I can just feel the very strong relationship between you and your Cyberbacker, because when you mentioned earlier that you are here to represent not just yourself, but Ren as well, the both of you. It's really, really great to hear.
And one of the things I like about Ren, every single morning we start the conversation, like today, 8:12 a.m. this morning. Good morning, guys. Let's start the week with an awesome day ahead of us. His point of view and his mental outlook on doing this job is way up here. I can tell you, he's eager to get started. He wants to be successful. And every single day I start that conversation with him when he's reaching out to me and my team and saying, guys, let's go get him. Let's go make it happen. Let's have a fantastic day. Let's have a fantastic week. Let's finish this week strong, because he knows how important he is as far as part of our team. And without him, we're not going to have as many opportunities to grow the market center in regards to the company dollar that his efforts are going to bring.
And that's really, really awesome. Hearing these things, of course, from you, and of course, because of your Cyberbacker, who is an integral part of your team. Now, Kevin, that's the last question that I have actually for today. We really, really appreciate you for being on the show.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.